The first time the meld was activated, Lieutenant Mara's mind shattered like glass. It was supposed to be a breakthrough, a neural link engineered to share pain, strength, and resolve across the front lines. The brainchild of desperate scientists and military commanders, designed to make humans not just stronger, but unbreakable. If one soldier faltered, the rest could carry the burden, the agony, even the fury, as if they were a single organism, a hive of war. But the price of becoming one mind was something no briefing could prepare you for. Mara was among the first deployed with the meld on the planet of Xiphos 9, a blasted wasteland where the enemy waited beneath endless ash skies. The meld's protocol was simple. Connect neural implants. Create a network of linked consciousness. Share the pain of injury. Redistribute strength. Ignite shared fury. It was supposed to make the squad unstoppable. Instead, it nearly tore them apart. The first kill was unlike anything Mara expected. When her squad came under fire, the meld flared to life. She didn't just feel the pain of a bullet tearing through Private Jalen's arm. She became it. Her nerves screamed with his agony. Yet it wasn't just pain. It was a flood of raw, unfiltered emotion. Terror, rage, despair, survival instinct twisting and burning through her brain like wildfire. Every neuron sparked with Jalen's fear and fury. The line between where he ended and she began vanished. It was intoxicating and horrifying. Meld didn't stop at pain. Strength flowed back, an electric surge coursing through Mara's limbs, bolstering muscles she didn't know she had. Every wound her comrade suffered, she shared. Every scream, every heartbeat racing for life. The battlefield was no longer fragmented, but a single, throbbing organism of human will. They fought harder, moved faster, bled less. The meld was their weapon, their shield, their unholy bond. Enemy after enemy fell beneath their shared wrath, a living wall of flesh and fury. But soon, the line between selves started to blur. Mara's thoughts became tangled with Jalen's memories, moments from his childhood, flashes of his mother's voice, the ache of loss she hadn't known he carried. Other soldiers' fears slipped into her dreams, their nightmares crawling beneath her skin like crawling shadows. The network was a storm of minds, a maddening chorus that drowned her own identity. And then came the whispers, at first subtle, half-heard voices behind the scream of gunfire, echoes that weren't her own, layered with the shared consciousness. They weren't just voices. They were something else, ancient and crawling beneath the surface of the neural link. Something alien that had latched onto the network's tangled minds. The meld was never meant to connect just humans. The night before the final battle, Mara woke drenched in sweat. The whispers had grown louder, urgent, pleading, sometimes angry, sometimes desperate. They clawed at the edges of her sanity, seeping into dreams and waking moments alike. The pain shared to the meld now carried a dark undertone, as if the agony itself had a will. Her squad mates looked the same, but their eyes flickered with something hollow. Strength was still there, yes, but so was a creeping silence in their gazes. The unity of the meld was fracturing into something twisted. When the battle began, the true horror was unveiled. The enemy, bioengineered horrors no one had fully understood, attacked with savage intelligence, anticipating their every move. But that was nothing compared to what happened next. Through the meld, Mara felt it, a cold, invasive presence. Something biting, twisting, corrupting the pain they shared. The network pulsed not just with human agony, but with an alien parasite that fed on their pain, grew stronger with every shared wound. The meld was a beacon. It was an open door. Her squad's pain wasn't just pain anymore. It was a call, a feeding ground for the creatures hidden in the depths of the battlefield. The whispers were their tongues, the agony their feast. Soldiers began to lose themselves, their minds consumed by the parasite's hunger, bodies twitched and convulsed, eyes glazing over as the alien presence spread like wildfire through the meld. The strength share became a dark energy, twisting muscles into grotesque forms, turning pain into rage, and rage into madness. Mara felt her own mind slipping, the parasite's claws sinking in. She struggled to hold on to herself, But the network was a prison. The meld a trap that fed her own fear back into her, amplified 1,000-fold. Then she understood. The meld wasn't just a weapon. It was a host. Humanity had reached too far, grasped for power beyond its understanding. They had built a hive mind to share strength, but what they got was a hive mind possessed. The battlefield turned into a nightmare landscape of screaming, twitching bodies. The enemy faded into the background, outmatched by the horror of their own soldiers, losing themselves to the meld's dark parasite. Desperation forced Mara to act. With a ferocity born from pure human will, she fought the parasite's grip in her mind. The meld howled around her, voices overlapping, some pleading for salvation, others lost forever. She wrenched her neural implant free, severing her connection in a burst of searing pain so intense it burned away the parasite's hold. She was alone again, but alone was better than being consumed. Mara stumbled from the wreckage, every step a battle against the darkness, still clawing at her mind. Behind her, the meld's glow faded, the parasite retreating into the broken network. But the damage was done. The meld had turned from a weapon of unity into a weapon of destruction. The survivors who cut free their implants looked at Mara with hollow eyes, a silent question in their gaze. Had the price of strength been too high? She did not have an answer, but she did know this. Humanity's hunger for power, for unity in battle, had awakened something ancient and terrible. And the worst part? The parasite was waiting. It had tasted human pain, and it would return. Mara's last thought as she collapsed beneath the ash sky was cold and clear. The meld was not humanity's salvation. It was humanity's curse. And somewhere, deep in the void between minds, the whispers waited, patient, hungry, eternal.